Greetings and salutations. It is I, Mr. Nothing, the museum curator of the weird and the strange and the host who might be a ghost. Welcome back to Around the Weird, a booktube channel where I take a look at all manner of strange and unusual literature that I have found in my travels. Today, I wanted to do a book review, a novella review of a story that I recently read that focuses on an object of power and what happens when a man suddenly acquires a great deal of wealth or power in a society. So that story is called The Pearl by John Steinbeck. I've been on a John Steinbeck spree as of late. I recently read Of Mice and Men, followed by Grapes of Wrath, and in the past I've read East of Eden. My friend recommended that I check out The Pearl, um, which I did. I wanted to see if it was on the level with the stories that John Steinbeck has written, because I'm a great fan of those works and wanted to see if this was just as good. So let's check it out. To summarize, the Pearl revolves around a family. Kino, um, the husband, the father, he is a fisherman in Baja California. Juana, his wife, who takes care of his child, and Coyotito, a wonderful name. He is a baby that Kino and Juana are raising. So one day, while they're just loping about, a scorpion falls on Coyotito and bites him. Even though they don't have a lot of money, the family heads towards the doctor in town, followed by a procession of townspeople who are curious to see what will happen. This happens multiple times in the book, and it's a very interesting how these people have latched onto Kino and his plight, and are being looky-loos, so to speak. But it's that they waver and follow him around. The doctor, the narrator notes that the doctor is racist against the ethnic group that Kino and his family are, and so he's just like, they don't have any money. I don't want to talk to them, and he sends them away. Um, with no hope really, Kino decides to go fishing for pearls in the nearby sea. Luckily, he's able to find an extremely large pearl uh, that that he believes will be of quite some value. At that moment, everyone immediately becomes aware, and they hear about the pearl of the world, that he calls it, the pearl that Kino has acquired. Some people have become bitter. Other people are thinking about how they can rip him off and manipulate him. The first person to do so is the doctor, who is immediately like, oh, Kino is my client. I will go see him now. And I cannot stress enough how much I hate this doctor, this nameless doctor who is just utterly garbage to Kino and his family. Uh, he offers his services to Kino's family, and he heals Coyotito. Although it's heavily implied that he doesn't actually heal um, Coyotito, that Coyotito heals on his own, and he just gives him an elixir to make it seem like he healed him. It's not really it's implied. And it's totally within the realms of who this doctor is to just lie his way to money. Um, yeah. So uh, he also inquires about the pearl, and it's implied later that he comes back at night to steal the pearl from Kino, but Kino manages to fight him off. The next day, he goes to the pearl dealers in town. Unbeknownst to Kino and a large part of the town, the pearl dealers are all working together to ensure that nobody in town gets a fair deal for whatever they bring in. And they do the same to Kino. They tell him, oh, it's only worth 1,000 coins or whatever, and they try to bring him down. And he's like, this pearl means everything to me. It could mean a better life for my family, so I'm going to go to this city, which they do not like. They're like, we want this pearl. It's he doesn't deserve it. So again, he goes home. He's attacked in the night by thieves. Uh, at some point, Juana tells him, just get rid of the pearl. It's evil. And she tries to chuck it into the sea, and he's not having that, so he beats her up, which is very violent. Um, it clearly shows that Kino, what this pearl means to Kino. Um, yeah, so that happens, and then the thieves attack again. Kino kills one of the thieves, and so he has to flee the town. But he's followed by a group of hunters who really want the pearl from him and are prepared to kill him and his family to get it. Uh, at night, they hide in a cave, but Kino sneaks down to take care of the hunters so that they don't follow him or kill him or his family. He manages to kill them, but one of them fires off a shot that hits Coyotito, and Coyotito dies, and there's a whole lot of anguish and pain within Kino and Juana, which results in them returning to the town very despondent. And Kino just he can't bear to look at the pearl anymore, so he tosses it into the sea. And that's the end of the story. Very very sad, and Steinbeck really knows how to like make you feel those emotions and really tear at your heart with the bitter ending. Oh, yeah. So in terms of summary, not summary, sorry, in terms of analysis, there's three key things I want to touch upon here. One is the importance of family in this story. To Kino, family is everything. Family, like when he gets the pearl, he's immediately like, I want to provide for my family. This will help my son read and write. My wife and I can finally be recognized by the church, get married. I can get a rifle to protect my family and provide for my family. Even before that, he takes he takes Coyotito to the doctor because he cares so much about his son and wants him to live, even though he knows he probably doesn't have the money to pay for it. So throughout the story, you're constantly seeing those reminders that he's willing to do anything and everything for his family. And the pearl is an extension of that because it represents what could happen for his family, the benefits that they could reap from selling this pearl, how it could up their status in society. I think Steinbeck is really good at highlighting how family is important to Kino, and it really makes the ending all the more tragic because the one thing he wanted to provide for, uh, Coyotito died in a tragic way, and so like the pearls are no longer really of use to him. He just chucks it to the sea and he eats it, as the kids would say. The second aspect of this story that is interesting is wealth inequality. For Kino, the pearl represents an opportunity for him to get on equal footing with the pearl dealers, for one, but also with the doctor, who seems to be a man of extreme wealth, um, and probably one of the few wealthy people in town. Um, he'll be able to purchase the doctor's services. But John Steinbeck usually talks about wealth. This is no surprise, but it's different than his other stories because he's really highlighting how the powers that be will do everything in their power to restrict access to a higher standard of living, especially for the less well-to-do, and that's really evident here. Like the doctor does not see Kino until there's an opportunity to take advantage of him. The pearl dealers work together to rip off Kino and his family. Like you see this in society today, where the wealthy elites will take away the ladder that people use to climb the socioeconomic status. The, they'll take it away, and that's what the pearl dealers and the doctors are doing. The doctor is so racist and so elitist in a lot of ways that he doesn't see Kino as worthy as being on the same level of him. So he takes away his opportunity um, to become on the same level. Steinbeck is really good at highlighting that, and it's more clear than in his other stories because uh, I don't think I got that vibe out of Grapes of Wrath. You really just saw it from the Jode's point of view. um, how uh, they were, you know, kind of racist, kind of not really racist, but kind of elitist against the Okies. But you didn't get the vibe that they were trying to restrict them from reaching the top so much as they were just disdainful towards these people who were seeking a better life. Um, Probably contradicting myself there. Yeah, but that's one of the things I got out of there. And then the third thing is the pearl itself in the story, how it's an object of power. Like many people are seeking it for what it means to them, whether it just be money or a better way of living. One of the things John Steinbeck does well with the pearl is how he paints it as both this life-saving, um, grand object that will grant a better world for oneself, while also painting it as uh, a curse from hell. There's no other way to phrase it. Like Kino believes that it will bring a better life for his family. I keep saying that, but like Kino believes that, and like it's the pearl of the world, and like so many people want it. The thieves want it. Everyone wants it. But at the same time, Wana believes it to be completely evil. Wana does not like the pearl. Uh, Mainly because the thieves creep out from the darkness, and Kino can never see who the thieves are. So it's like the pearl is dragging forth these demons to guard it and make sure nobody can have it. Uh, at one point, Steinbeck, the narrator, notes that the fates have conspired against Kino to make sure that he can't move up in the world. Um, I don't like that message so much because it would suggest that the gods want you to be poor and you can't move above your station. Whereas that doesn't, I would say society wants that less so than the gods. But that's the one issue I have. That's that part. But yeah, it really seems that like at times that this pearl is just a miserable cursed object that only brings uh, terror and sadness and grief. Because as long as Kino has it, nothing really good happens. He's not given the opportunity to cash it in for that better life that he wanted. And then it ultimately results in a lot of grief for his family when Coyotito is killed. Uh, at the very end, he tosses it back into the ocean, and you have to wonder what was this pearl's life before? Like it was in a clam before, but what's going to happen afterwards? Um, is it going to be? Is someone else going to happen upon it, and it's just going to work its evil magic upon them and result in a bad life for them? Is this going to be a Jumanji type thing for the rest of existence? Um, you know, that's certainly one of the things that leaves me with thinking about. So yeah, that's what I got out of the Pearl. Overall, I would have to say it's Steinbeck, so I definitely recommend it. I can't say enough good things about the Pearl or Steinbeck. It's a novella, but it still packs a hard punch, and I would recommend it if you can find it. Other than that, I bid you a good day, and I hope you have fun in all your weird travels.